Welcome. Today we're going to explore a piece of ancient wisdom, and it's all captured in just 4 simple characters. And the story we're about to share really gets you thinking about a question. How can something you trust, something you think is a fixed point, actually lead you completely astray? So here it is, the idiom, 刻舟求剑. It comes from a really old Chinese parable, one that was first written down in a philosophical text well over 2,000 years ago. To really get to the heart of what this means, let's take a closer look at what each of these characters represents, one by one. The first character is pronounced kai. It has this lovely poetic sense of to carve. The second, that zhōu, a boat. The third character, qiu, means to seek. And the last one, jiàn, is a sword. So putting it all together, kai, zhōu, qiu, jiàn, to carve the boat, to seek the sword. And when you put them all together, they describe a very specific kind of foolishness. You know, that feeling of clinging to a fixed idea while the world just keeps moving around you? Let's tell the story. The story comes from that text we mentioned, the Lüshi Chunqiu, and our scene opens on a river. Imagine this. There's a man on a boat, making his way across a wide river. And then, oops, his prized sword slips right out of his hand and disappears into the water. Everyone else on the boat just gasps. I mean, they're all expecting him to dive right in to try and get it back. But he does something really, really strange instead. He just calmly pulls out a little knife, leans over the side of the boat, and makes a small notch in the railing, right above the spot where he saw his sword vanish. Then he announces to all the other passengers, "This is where my sword fell." He seems really pleased with himself, completely certain that this little mark shows exactly where his sword is. So the boat keeps moving, travels a bit further down the river, and finally pulls up to the shore. And without a moment's hesitation, the man jumps right into the water, right below the little mark he carved. He starts searching, feeling around in the murky water, but of course, he finds nothing. And the other passengers who've just been watching this whole thing in silence finally realize how foolish his plan was, and they start to laugh. All right, so let's unpack this. The whole point of the story is to understand the man's simple, but actually really profound mistake. And this really lays it out clearly. The man made a critical error. He treated the boat as a fixed point, but the boat was moving, drifting down the river with the current. His sword, on the other hand, was now stationary, lying at the bottom of the river, far, far behind them. And this story, it just brilliantly illustrates a universal human experience, doesn't it? It's about the danger of having a rigid mindset in a world that is always flowing, always changing, just like that river. He failed because his thinking didn't adapt to his new reality. It's really a powerful reminder that this challenge, adapting to change, seeing the world as it is and not as it was, it's nothing new. It's a timeless part of being human.
So the real question is, how does this ancient wisdom apply to our world today, where the rivers of change seem to be flowing faster than ever before?
Well, you could easily hear someone say this in a business meeting. It's just a very quick, very sharp way to warn everyone against using an outdated plan or relying on old information when things are moving so fast. And so, we'll leave you with a final thought to ponder. Think about the moving boats in your own life. Maybe it's your career, a relationship, or even just a belief you hold. Where might you be clinging to a fixed mark on the railing, while the treasure you're looking for is actually far behind you? Learn Chinese, one story at a time.